downforce that you have with the ground effects, the grip level that you have with the tires. It's just the ultimate package to drive as a car. Racing against Kenny Smith and David Oxton and the likes, I mean, it's like, these guys are fast. The track was historic, it was bumpy, and you know, it was a good track.
The new lap record, what's your reaction to that? I believe you've knocked about 1/10 of a second off.
That's great. You know, I believe that I was a bit quicker than that in practice, and you have to break a record in the race, and I'm really pleased to hear that.
See, I didn't really know how big the New Zealand Grand Prix was until after I had won it, and as a racing driver, you know, you're here to come in and to wheel the car. Here I am as a 19-year-old kid, and being on television, being in the media like I was, and people recognizing you who you are, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was my first taste of stardom.
Our Formula Atlantic Pacific category ran for the entire 1980s, and by this time, Kiwis were well and truly on top in many years, with names such as Kenny Smith.
There's the flag for the man of the moment, Kenny Smith.
David Oxton, Dave McMillan, Steve Millen, and then came Paul Radisich, who arrived as a bit of a lightning bolt to shake up the old fellas.
Do you think you can get past Kenny?
I think so, yeah.
Here in Bay Park, you had a little contretemps with Paul Radisich, the young driver, New Zealand's great hope at the moment. Why is it that you dislike each other?
Well, it's not that we dislike each other, we're probably just as good of friends as anyone else, but at the same time as when he's on a track, he just gets a bit aggressive and thinks he's doing Formula 3 driving in Europe. Well, if he wants any of that carry on, you know, I'll give it back to him.
Basically, couldn't get past, and I think it's just a little bit of sour grapes, really.
You know, I'm not going to take any nonsense from him. I mean, if he wants a clash or a wheel bang, well, I'll give him a wheel banging.
It was a big deal. Like it meant something. New Zealand Grand Prix is one of the only, I think it's two of the only Grand Prix in the world outside Formula One. So it really meant everything. Well, the win in '88, Kenny was the guy chasing me all the way, and I just remember if I make one gear change, miss one gear change, that would be the end of it. And we managed to hold off. We started on pole, won the race. My dad had tried to win the Grand Prix for many years, and having him on the spanners and doing the engines, and it was a real team affair.
These were really the names that were the major attractions during most of that decade before Craig Baird and Greg Murphy came along to give Kiwis another bunch of names to cheer for.
The toughest bloke on the track was Paul Radisich. The toughest bloke off the track was Kenny Smith. If you screwed him over, he did threaten to stab me once. With a screwdriver, that wouldn't have been that pleasant, but he was a ripper bloke and we're very good friends now.
Welcome back to Teretonga, where the weather is wild as the racetrack, and we're getting set for Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania, race 2 of the weekend and the 10th in an utterly compelling championship. The rain is falling, the grid is set. Before we get racing, let's learn a little bit more about one of the young stars in this great championship.
My name is Fionn McLaughlin. I'm from Ireland. I started in motorsport in go-karting. My dad did it, so I followed his footsteps when I was young. I started karting when I was 3, and yeah, it's continued to now. What I love is the adrenaline, you know, the speed. I think it just gives me such an adrenaline boost, and I just thrive for it. I thrive for perfection, and I think the joy I get from racing is the best I could get from any sport. I think becoming British F4 champion this year was probably my biggest achievement so far. I'm racing in New Zealand because I think it's a good winter championship for us anyway. It's summer for yous, but yeah, it's a good way to start off the year before heading into F3, and yeah, it's getting a bit of rust off, and yeah, hopefully I can take away some good wins and maybe the championship. My motorsport goal is to become a multiple-time F1 world champion. Not just to be there, I want to be the best, so yeah, I'll work towards that. My motorsport idols is Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen. Younger me loved Sebastian Vettel, and then he retired, and then I've started to love the way Max Verstappen drives and how good he is. Outside motorsport, I like football a lot as well. I like watching the Premier League, and yeah, I'm quite a sports person. I like paddle and stuff as well. So before racing, I really like house music. I like house, I like rap as well, and country really. So, but before race, I would like to listen to a bit of house before it starts.
That's 18-year-old Fionn McLaughlin from County Londonderry in Ireland, and he is the 2025 British Formula 4 champion, so comes into CTFROT with some experience and some track record of success. Only 15th in the championship following race 1 this morning, where he finished 9th in wet conditions. A little delay of cars being released from the form-up grid as Andrew Waite joins me in commentary. Some wall repairs ongoing here at Teretonga Park. Our hard-working volunteers and the members of the car club that own and promote the venue here working very hard to get the track ready after a fairly bruising encounter from the One Make Mazda series we've just seen. So some repairs underway, new tyres going in, and the conditions are wild. Having said that, the drivers have experienced this before. Qualifying this morning, Andrew, it was torrentially wet. There were 3 red flags in this session. This was a lap that got Freddie Slater on the front row and gives you a bit of an experience about what these conditions are all about.
Straight away, you can see just how hard it is for him to see where he's going. At this point here, you can see the flashing red light. That's about your only visual reference of where everything is up ahead of you. He's reasonably early on the brakes. We've seen so many cars off on the outside of turn 1 there. Staying super patient on the throttle, feeding it back in, trying to get it turned in. You can see the understeer he's got. He's trying to turn the car in, but it's not quite responding as he would otherwise like. Down into turn 2. Faster than you think through there. A little bit of a snap oversteer on entry, and then more oversteer on exit. He's back in the throttle once again, making his way up towards turn 5. A lot of standing water through here, has been reported again as we're about to get this race underway hopefully soon. And then the big oversteer on exit. Wheel spin as well. He makes his way down to the all-important last turn. Nice and early on the brakes this lap. Getting the car rotated through the middle and really focusing on that throttle, getting on as early as you can, especially in these conditions. You don't want to run out over the white lines on the outside and break into a wheel spin. And again, this point here, you can see just that wall of water. So hard to see anything up in front of you. Rihanna.
While we just wait for this short delay, I just thought I would take you into the holding area for the CTFROT cars. And as you can see, weather is continuing to come down here. Ryan Wood is going to be my very experienced Prolly girl. Ryan, just such tricky conditions that you guys have been dealt with all day long. How do you feel as you sit here and know what's coming ahead?
Yeah, look, I don't know what's more tricky, me driving in this condition or you guys commentating and standing in this weather. But look, it's been very tough. Our MTech cars have struggled a little bit, to be honest, but we'll salvage something starting on the front row here. So just do the best we can and enjoy it. And at the end of the day, like me and Rich spoke about this morning, it's all about learning in these tough conditions, tough scenarios, and building from it and getting better.
Does it put a bit of a lump in your throat when you sit here? You can see the rain falling, you know how difficult this track is and what you're about to tackle. Is it something that makes you more nervous?
Yeah, sometimes, but I think I'm too dumb to realise risk versus reward. So I'll just go and drive as fast as I can, and hopefully, everyone stays safe and we all have a good race. So, yeah.
We wish you all the best. Try and enjoy it out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ree, I am over by the very sort of end of the dummy grid before the first of the cars will venture out with Stephen Giles, who we haven't spoken to so far in this championship. We have not one, but two umbrellas, but I think a bit of water's still sneaking in here, mate. Firstly, like a kind of condition report from what you're seeing here and what you tell your drivers before they venture out.
Yeah, obviously conditions aren't any better than they were before. Probably a bit more water on track, so we'll just have to see what it looks like on the outlap there.
Were there learnings from this morning's race that you bring into this?
Obviously, the drivers are just learning the conditions. We did limited running in quali, so they didn't do any push laps or enough to really understand where the cars are at here. So they should all have a much better idea now.
You run a crack team, a very experienced team here, mate. But it's the quality, the calibre of the competition this year, the extra teams that have come in. It's been next level, hasn't it?
Absolutely, one of the best we've seen for a very long time. So yeah, it's a good challenge. Keeps everyone on their toes. And, yep.
Hope it's a good race. Thank you.
Thanks.
Wet weather tyres, they operate a lot different to a slick tyre that you see in dry conditions. So this wet weather tyre here, so you can see the way the tread is. So they've got these really sharp blocks all the way through. It's a directional tyre as well, so all the water pushes through it and then gets dispersed through the tread there. And the idea of that is to cut the tyre into the road as much as possible, so you've got this tread here on the actual circuit, not water in between, but actually on the circuit. And using this tyre correctly is important as well. When it's starting to dry a bit, you'll see that the spray goes less. And so when you get to a point where there's no spray coming off the tyre, that's when you've got to really start considering which tyre you want on the car. Do you want to go to a slick tyre, or are you going to stay on the wet weather tyre? Because if you stay on the wet weather tyre, what happens is you overheat it too much, and then the blocks on the tyre become like marshmallows. They roll around, and then you start wearing them out super quickly. You also wreck the edges of the tyre, and then the next time you go to use it, you won't have as much grip because that isn't cutting into the surface as much. And that is a wet tyre, super important to make sure that they are prepped, ready for the drivers, important thing to get right.
An explainer on the Pirelli wet weather tyre used in CTFROT. Track repairs look like they are complete. The team have done an enormous amount of work. Track inspection has been completed as well. Hopefully not far away from some racing here at Teretonga. A short break and back with Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy.
It's one of the biggest weekends on the Kiwi sporting calendar, January 30 to February 1 at Highlands Motorsport Park for a milestone running of the Napa New Zealand Grand Prix. It's the title decider of the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy. There's Formula Atlantics, Bridgestone GR86, GTs, some fire-breathing V8s and all sorts of family fun. Be there for the 70th running of the GP Round 5 of the Repco Next Gen NZ Championship, or catch it on Sky Sport.
My name is Ugo Oguchukwu, and I'm from the United States of America. I started because my dad, mainly. He used to do karting, so he got me kind of into that. Made me try one weekend in upstate New York. And yeah, I really enjoyed it from the first time. Wanted to go back the next weekend, and then it all started from there. The favorite thing about motorsport is the competition, how close you need to be to the limits, and yeah, really having to perfect corner by corner to be as quick as possible. Winning the Macau Grand Prix has definitely been one of my biggest achievements so far in motorsport, mainly because it's such a prestigious race. Has a really great history behind it. So yeah, I was really proud that I was able to win that, and meant a lot to me. Yeah, I'm racing in New Zealand because I think it's a really good championship. Start of the year, of course, so keeps us kind of sharp and ready for main campaign back in Europe in F3. And yeah, I think it's also a great experience here. The tracks are a lot different. I think I can definitely learn a few things here and bring that over to you know, the rest of my career. My motorsport goal is definitely to get to F1. Max Verstappen right now is doing the best, and I think he is at his best. That's the goal. But yeah, I'll try to take it year by year, of course. You know, focus on this season here in New Zealand in F3. Try to do the best possible job I can, and then I'll see where next year takes me.
That's the championship leader. This is where we are racing. The South Island of New Zealand, and about 3 hours south of Queenstown you find Invercargill, and then 10 minutes out of town you find Teretonga Park. Been racing here since the 1950s. Second oldest permanent racetrack in the country, and one of the fastest as well, one of the greatest to watch motor racing from, because it is truly spectacular and very, very fast. People watching all around the world, the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship. Hello to those watching in the Philippines, in Charlotte, North Carolina, they're tuned in. Toronto, Ontario as well. Nottingham in the UK, Jyväskylä in Finland. They're even watching in Lindok in South Australia, and down in Argentina as well, all around the world, tuned in to watch Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania. And of course, across this great country on Sky Sport New Zealand, and in Australia on Fox Sports and KO. Hello to wherever you might be watching. Richard Crail, Andrew Waite with you up in the warm, safe and dry commentary box, and not in that commentary box. Rowena Crean and Greg Russ are down in pit lane and the paddock for us as the cars are released to the grid. So after a slight delay, the cars have been released out of pit lane. Andrew, this is a massive opportunity now to judge these conditions, sort out where the standing water might be on the racetrack, and get a little feel for things before we go racing.
It certainly is. As we've seen Chris Pitherguide a little bit earlier, the driving standards observer. He's been out in the GR Super Safety car to have a bit of a look to see what he thinks, and obviously we want safety is number one, and standing water is where things get super difficult. And you can see safety car there run through the puddle to try to disperse a little bit of water, but it is as wet as those conditions were this morning in that qualifying session. We saw just how many cars left the road. There was so much going on through that session, which completely jumbled our grid.
Hugo Oguchukwu leads the championship. His margin reduced 33 points coming into race one this morning. It's now 25 over Kanato Lee. He has one championship point in front of his teammate Jin Nakamura. Freddie Slater, 31 points from the championship lead, only 6 points now out of second position in the championship. He's in fourth. Louis Sharp back to fifth place after a challenging race earlier today. Ryan Wood, I should say, has also dropped a position, but he's tied on points with Louis Sharp, 42 points off the championship lead. But only 42 points. It can swing very, very quickly in this championship. Behind them, Zach Skula after a DNF early on today. Ernesto Rivera, DNF early on today. James Wharton not here this weekend, back next weekend for the Grand Prix. Nolan Alla, DNF earlier today, back to 10th in the championship. So that's the situation as the cars pull down onto a very damp Teratonga Park Raceway grid.
Certainly challenging conditions when it is like this, and Oguchukwu there, he's in a good position here to salvage a bit more in his championship, being able to start that little bit further up. And yeah, it's just the way that it's all shaping out. I tell you what, I'm intrigued to see how turn one goes.
One of our themes we've been talking about is opportunity all season long and grasping that opportunity. And Ugo Chukwu has been doing that all season long in putting himself into the best position to recover from a slow start to either a race, a qualifying, or a weekend. And once again, he's done the job. Qualified 12th for race 1, but he finished 8th, which meant he gets the inversion to start from pole position for race 2. So lost championship points in race 1, opportunity here to get a bulk of them back in this one.
Yeah, and that opportunity is super important for him to maximise this situation. And as we look over Ryan Wood there as well, he's going to be starting off the front row. It's all going to be a big old drag race down into turn 1. Rihanna.
And I find myself in the warmest place I can possibly find on the grid, tucked in under the umbrella next to Cooper Ship and Cooper, starting the second row of the grid for this race. We've spoken about the conditions all day long. They look even more difficult now. How do you feel sitting here?
Yeah, no, we had pretty decent speed in race 1. Obviously, it appears to be a bit more wet, more treacherous for this one. So I'll be looking to do more of the same, and hopefully we can survive some of the chaos and finish with a strong result.
You've had some really good results so far this weekend. Do you feel the conditions are working for you and for your car?
Yeah, I definitely think we found something in the wet, but it's just about staying consistent and just making sure you're minimizing your mistakes, and you'll be able to come away with a strong result.
Just your initial reaction to this circuit down here at Teretonga?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's one of the more unique ones that we go to on the calendar. But I've really enjoyed it, and it's provided a little bit something different of a challenge for us drivers, and I think overall it's been a pretty solid up.
Really appreciate your time. All the best, Cooper. Good luck.
Thank you.
Some of the management from the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Trophy are in deep conversation with various team bosses and drivers. Why don't we get a bit of perspective from you, Jack? What was that, Jack Taylor with me, what was that sort of sighting lap like? Describe it. What are the conditions from a driving perspective?
Oh, it's very, very wet. You can watch the safety car or any bus. You hit the puddles, it just goes everywhere. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very, very tricky race. Honestly, I think someone's going to hit a puddle and go off. It's going to be a safety car race again, probably.
Today, from race 1 today, I mean, are the conditions similar to that? Are they worse in your mind? What sort of parallel can you give us?
I think they're a lot worse. At the start of race 1, you can kind of almost see a dry line forming. There's definitely not got a dry line now. There's just puddles everywhere, yeah.
Jack Taylor on the second row of the grid. Let's go to Rihanna. Thanks, Jack.
And there are still some conversations happening about how this race will play out, but we are being told the start procedure has been delayed, so there is further delay to this start. But while we're here and waiting, Kanato Lee, how have you found this series so far? We're into the third round. You've been very consistent all series long. Are you happy with where you're sitting?
Yeah, this series has been amazing so far. It's really competitive grid. The tracks are really nice to drive, and yeah, every race it's full of action, and yeah, it's pretty good to be consistent and be where I am right now. So yeah, I'm happy.
How have you found the conditions today?
Yeah, I mean, super wet. Just need to keep it on the track and finish the race first of all. But I think the pace has been pretty strong, so let's see what I can do from here.
We have really enjoyed just the huge variety of people who've been tuning into the coverage, watching you guys do your work. Have you had a great response from family and friends back home?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice having a lot of people watching, and also my friends and family supporting me as well. So yeah, it's really nice way to start the year.
We wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
And just to reiterate, I think what Rihanna said there a moment ago, the start has been delayed, given that they've done a lot of taking a lot of information from the drivers. They've done a sighting lap, obviously, with the GR Supra safety car, and discussions continuing on the grid here. Why don't we go to Jin Nakamura, if we can, and have a little word. What was the out lap like for you? What are the conditions?
This track was way worse than this morning. So many water was on the track. So yeah, it's going to be quite difficult race.
Your season, it's been fabulous. I mean, having Hi-Tech here, Jin, they've been a great addition to this this series. Have you enjoyed being a part of it so far?
Yeah, I'm enjoying a lot.
We've enjoyed having you here too. Let's go to Ree. Thank you.
Sebastian Manson, it is such a busy weekend for your family, your brother and dad racing as well this weekend. Do you guys catch up and debrief what's been happening for each other throughout the weekend?
Yeah, we definitely try to spend as much time as we can together on like busy weekends like this, but it's usually only for breakfast in the morning and dinner at night. So very busy with 3 different classes to attend to.
The conditions, I feel like they're getting worse as we sit here on the grid. How did you find it on that formation lap?
The standing water on the track isn't too bad. It's a little bit rough, but yeah, the only issue I see at the moment is just the visibility. These cars kick up quite a bit of water, and yeah, it just makes it quite hard to see out there.
The previous race earlier today, it was fairly action-packed. I mean, how are you sitting this weekend?
Yeah, we're feeling a little bit more confident. Yeah, definitely with the interesting qualifying sort of set us back a bit, but I guess we just sort of chip away and try to get towards the pointy end of the grid.
Wish you all the best. Thanks, Sebastian.
Thank you very much.
Really cool photo that you can find on social media that Ree was alluding to there before of the 3 Manson members who are all racing in different categories here this week. And I'm 1 row back from where Rihanna was just a moment ago. So Jason Sharp at the front of the grid here. Here's Alan Sargent as well. What do we come to? Hello, mate. How are you? Hey, lovely words in commentary there before. It's been a tough time for you recently. But what we love about you is that you're here and you're kind of supporting the next wave, aren't you?
Absolutely. And I think that's the key thing, is that we've got to keep going in life. And that's just that. We've just got to support the young fellas.
What is it about this young man, Louis Sharp, that's kind of, I mean, you know, lots of talk about him, obviously, in this championship, what he's been doing in Formula 3 and so on?
Yeah, well, it's just a case of it's something for me to give back to a young and up-and-coming person who needs some support. So it's just as simple as that.
Right, thanks for chatting with us. We love that super in Somerset GT. Here he is. This is Louis' dad, smartest man among all of us with the beanie on. What are we doing here, mate?
Well, I grew up here, so I know full well. So there we go.
What is it like for you as Nervous Dad? You and I spoke in the lead up to a chat I had with him separately last week. He has been ultra competitive since he basically jumped out of a pushchair or a pram, hasn't he?
He has. He showed those qualities from a very early age, that determination and that competitive instinct. So he's carried it through, which is great. So we're enjoying this journey. It's incredible, and have people like Alan and others on board to make it happen is just amazing.
We're wishing you well with the continuation of that journey. You've got a proper kind of sporting background too, but yours is more on the rugby side. He's gone motor racing, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's gone motor racing, and it was my fault we went motor racing. I had him playing rugby and we stopped at a go-kart track, so I take full responsibility, unfortunately, for that one.
Do you get nervous? I mean, he does the thing, he does his job so well at such a young age, doesn't
he? Yeah, he does. If he could see me, he wouldn't believe it. I'm a nervous wreck, so I'm pacing up and down, wearing out my shoes, and yeah, kind of riding every bump with him, but no, it's all good.
Well done on the beanie and the puff vest. You win today. Let's see if he'll talk with me if it's okay. G'day, young fellow. I know the kind of qualifying and the way that played out left you feeling pretty flat. How are you now?
Yeah, obviously had a bit of time to reflect. Look, we were just super unlucky. Unfortunately, being last in the pit lane kind of screwed us up a little bit this weekend. You know, with all the red flags, didn't get to set a single flying lap in qualifying. So I ended up qualifying on my out lap, which is a bit of a shame. You know, I think you know, we're here fighting for a championship, so something like this to go wrong definitely hurts our chances. But the biggest thing is just to forget about it now. Just trying to play catch up for the rest of the weekend.
While we were sort of looking left and right at all of the battles that went on this morning, you were in the thick of it. You and Yevon David, and you were charging hard, the pair of you, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely trying to come through. I think we probably struggled a little bit for balance in this morning's race. I think we missed the window a little bit on a few things, but no, I was still trying my hardest to fight through. You know, no matter what, you can never give up. So look, we'll see if this front race is here, but if we do go, I'll be charging through again.
We love the never give up style, mate. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Greg Rust and Rihanna Crean down there on a very, very wet Teretonga Park front straight. The start has been delayed in race number 2 of Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania. We'll take a short break. Back with more from the Repco Next Gen NZ Championship after this.
My name is Yevan David and I'm from Sri Lanka. I started at a young age. I was around 6 years old. My dad took me to the karting track once and I love the feeling of driving, and since then I haven't stopped turning the steering wheel and just started racing internationally in 2015. Started to do a lot of go-karting in Europe as well and then progressed to cars, and here we are today. I love the feeling of driving, you know, more than cars and, you know, Formula One. I just love being in control and going at such high speeds, especially competing. I love winning as well, so that's why the dream for me is Formula One, making it there one day and winning. So yeah, those two things together is what fueled my dream of going all the way. I'd say definitely last year in Euro Formula, getting the vice champion was pretty good because, I mean, it's my second season in cars, and to be top 3 in a championship was really exciting. And I've had a lot of races in karting which were pretty memorable, but to have a memorable season in cars was really nice. I'm racing here to prepare for my main season in Formula 3, getting used to different tracks, different conditions, and also being able to practice doing qualifying and racing on the first few laps. We have a lot of races each weekend, a lot of different tracks to get used to, so adapting quickly, executing on time in qualifying is exactly what we need for Formula 3, racing in new tracks like Melbourne and Monaco, so practicing that and obviously getting the experience to race in New Zealand, so very excited for it. Yeah, of course, I said my goal is Formula One. I've dreamed of it since I started in 2014 when I was a kid, loving the feeling of driving, but watching Formula One, watching Lewis win at the time, and definitely within reach within the next 3 or 4 years. So I'm working hard. It's more of a goal now than a dream. So, you know, every day I live for it and have the hope of being the first Sri Lankan to make it as well. I like to spend time with family, so usually my downtime from racing is Christmas, watching some Netflix and playing some other sports like basketball, watching sports as well, and just spending time at home. You know, I don't get to be at home so much during the season, so yeah, just doing nothing at home, being away from racing, and then being switched on when the time comes. Motorsport idols would be Lewis Hamilton, Jim Clark, and Ayrton Senna. I love the 3 of them, especially Jim Clark for, you know, he was so inspirational back in the day, and although it's been quite a while now since he's raced, it's still really cool to see what he's done. And of course, Senna and Hamilton, one of the greatest to ever race in Formula One. Usually I don't listen to music before a race. Usually it's music in the gym. During the races, I'm quite relaxed, so maybe some relaxed Jamaican beats would be more suitable, but yeah, definitely something along those lines.
Yevan David, he's been one of the great stories. Oh, that is an amazing shot. Tony, fine work by a great man down there on the grid, getting all the roving shots this weekend of the Sri Lankan fan club. That has been one of the incredible stories of this summer of motorsport in New Zealand. There have been Sri Lankan fans at every round so far. We welcome them. Thank you for your support. And Yevan David, I'm sure, is appreciative of that, as is his family. Let's go to Ree.
And Krause, if I could, I would jump in the cockpit with Wampu Tway at the moment because the rain is falling and it is cold. But Wampu, as you sit here now, just tell us how difficult these conditions have been throughout the day.
Well, obviously, from race 1 we weren't too bad with the conditions. Obviously it's not raining, but currently just all the upper plane and stuff like that and visibility will definitely be an impact to the race. So we'll see how it gets on.
I feel like your results so far this weekend, you've been moving further and further up the grid. Do you feel like you've got a bit more of a handle on the car and this team?
Yeah, obviously, just a bit unfortunate doing the qualifying, which puts us in the back of the grid, but it doesn't affect too much. So definitely, obviously, we've got halfway through the grid, so hopefully we can get some more places done in the race and for tomorrow as well.
We wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you look at what some of the parents of these drivers have done during their careers, it is no wonder these are such competitive human beings. We have Victoria's Secret models, we have Italian fashion designers, former rugby players. Trevor Lazaret, who's with us, his parents have both been ace jet fighter pilots. Hello, mate. How are you? What are we doing here going racing? What were the conditions like on the outlet, firstly, for you?
Yeah, of course. Everybody loves a little bit of wet racing. It's the purest form of driving a race car, in my opinion. But yeah, on the outlap, the track, there was a lot of standing water, a lot of puddles forming, and definitely more wet than the first race. So we'll have to see what race control decides to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've spied your mum watching on social media, watching on YouTube and stuff. Is she nervous watching back in America? What's she like?
Exactly, yeah. Nobody's been more supportive than my family back home. So, hey guys. But yeah, they're you know, very supportive, and I think excited to see me out here.
You have stayed on what we call terra firma, on the ground. They've enjoyed some amazing things in the air. Were you ever tempted to go down that path?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've actually been working on my pilot's license for the past couple of months, and I'm right around the corner. So.
Okay. For now, it's about focusing on the racing. We wish you well with that too. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
There he is, Trevor Lazarette.
Ricardo Baptista, tell me, how have you found the CTFROT series so far this season?
It's been a really nice experience for me. Obviously, the grid's very competitive. It's a much higher level than what I was used to. So it's been for me a very good learning experience, and yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
What have you found the biggest challenges are for you?
I think just in general, keep up with the pace of the front runners. As I said, their grid is very competitive. So yeah, I have to keep working hard to be able to keep up with them.
We appreciate your time. It looks like everybody is clearing their grid at the moment, so let's see what happens.
Rihanna, thank you. We can tell you Motorsport New Zealand Race Control and Toyota GAZOO Racing New Zealand have made the call that this race unfortunately will not start. Andrew Waite is alongside me. Plenty of experience racing in these kinds of conditions. Sometimes you've got to make the tough call, don't you, to ensure the safety of those on and off the racetrack, and that's the decision that's been made today.
Yeah, you've got to put safety above all else, and with these conditions the way they are at the moment, we saw what happened in qualifying earlier today when there were similar conditions. So yeah, tough call by the teams that make the calls for this, and you know, it's been so long for them to make the call because they want to go racing as much as we want to go racing, but you've just got to ride it out and try and make the best decisions. So the main thing is we'll unfortunately not see the commencement of this race as one of the very experienced team, Tony Chambers. He's looking a bit weathered out there, shall we say.
So unfortunately, this race has been abandoned and will take no further part. However, there is plenty more racing coming your way from the Repco Next Gen NZ Championship. In fact, tomorrow is a massive day on air. Bright and early. Coverage commences at 9:25 a.m. New Zealand time. That's 7:25 a.m. in Australia. Wherever you might be watching around the world, please check that out. The Ascot Park Hotel Teratonga Park International continues. Check your local guides and the nextgennz.co.nz website. On behalf of Rihanna and Rusty and Ronan and Andrew Waite, thanks for joining us today at Teratonga. We'll see you tomorrow for more action from the Repco Next Gen NZ Championship. Good afternoon.